The language that changed Maya's life. Chapter 1. A small dream Maya lived in a small town with her parents and younger brother. Every morning, she helped her mother prepare breakfast before school. Life in the town was simple and peaceful. People knew each other well. Most families worked in farms, small shops, or local markets. Maya was kind, hardworking, and curious about the world. She loved learning new things. But there was one subject that always made her nervous: English. Whenever her teacher asked students to speak English in class, Maya became quiet. She worried about making mistakes. Sometimes other students laughed when she pronounced words incorrectly. Because of this, Maya slowly lost confidence. One afternoon after school, Maya sat beside the river near her home. Her English textbook rested unopened beside her. "I'll never speak English well," she whispered sadly. An elderly man nearby heard her words. He was Mr. Daniel, a retired teacher who often visited the river to read books. "Why do you think that?" he asked gently. Maya looked embarrassed. "I'm not good at English," she admitted. Mr. Daniel smiled kindly. "Every language begins with mistakes." Maya looked down quietly. "But English is too difficult." Mr. Daniel closed his book slowly. "Do you know why many people learn English?" Maya shook her head. "Because language opens doors." "What kind of doors?" "The doors to friendship, travel, education, work, and opportunity." Maya listened carefully. Then Mr. Daniel pointed toward the sky where an airplane moved slowly above the clouds. "That airplane connects people from many countries," he said, "and often English helps them communicate." Maya stared thoughtfully at the distant airplane. For the first time, she wondered if English could truly change her future. Chapter 2. One new word. Every day, the next morning, Maya made a decision. She would try again. Not perfectly, not quickly, but seriously. She began with a simple goal: learn one new English word every day. On Monday, the word was dream. On Tuesday, future. On Wednesday, opportunity. Maya wrote each word carefully inside a small notebook. She practiced pronunciation quietly before sleeping each night. At first, progress felt slow, very slow. Sometimes Maya forgot words. Sometimes grammar confused her. Sometimes she felt frustrated. But Mr. Daniel continued, encouraging her. "Language learning is like planting a tree," he explained one afternoon. "It grows little by little." Maya nodded, thoughtfully. Every evening after school, she visited the small library near town. There, she discovered simple English storybooks. At first, she understood only a few sentences, but gradually, she improved. The stories became easier. The words became more familiar. One evening, Maya smiled proudly after finishing her first short English story without using a dictionary. "I understood it," she whispered excitedly. The librarian noticed her happiness. "You're improving," she said kindly. Maya smiled, shyly. Yes, slowly. But deep inside, she felt something changing. Confidence. Chapter 3. The Online Friend. Several months later, Maya's English teacher introduced the class to an international language website. Students could practice English by talking with people from other countries. Maya felt nervous immediately. "Real conversations?" she whispered. Her teacher smiled. "Yes, don't be afraid of mistakes." That evening, Maya created an account carefully. Soon she received a message from a girl named Sophia from Brazil. "Hello. My name is Sophia. I want to improve my English too." Maya hesitated nervously before replying. "Hello, Sophia. My name is Maya. Nice to meet you." The conversation felt awkward at first. Both girls made grammar mistakes. Sometimes they used the wrong words, but they continued. Trying every week, Maya and Sophia exchanged messages. They talked about school, food, music, family, dreams. Slowly, Maya realized something important. English was not only a school subject, it was a bridge connecting people across the world. One evening, Sophia sent Maya a photo of Rio de Janeiro. The city looked beautiful beside the ocean. Maya stared at the image in amazement. "It feels like I'm traveling through language," she whispered. Soon, Maya began speaking more, confidently in English class too, her classmates. Noticed the difference. Even her teacher looked impressed. "You're becoming much more fluent," the teacher said proudly. Maya smiled. Brightly, for the first time, English no longer felt like an enemy. It felt like a key. Chapter 4. A Difficult Opportunity. 1 year later, Maya heard exciting news. An international company planned to open a new office in a nearby city. The company needed young workers who could speak English. Many students became interested immediately. Maya felt excited, but also nervous. "What if I'm not good enough?" she asked Mr. Daniel. The old teacher smiled calmly. "You are stronger than you think." The company announced a scholarship program for students with strong English communication skills. The winners would receive free training and job opportunities. Maya decided to apply. The application included an English interview. For days, Maya practiced speaking in front of her mirror. "Tell us about yourself. What are your goals? Why do you want this opportunity?" Sometimes she spoke confidently. Other times she became nervous again. The night before the interview, Maya could not sleep. "What if I forget everything?" she worried. The next morning, she arrived at the interview center carrying her notebook tightly. Several other students waited nervously outside. When Maya's name was called, her heart beat quickly. Inside the room sat 2 interviewers. One woman smiled kindly. "Good morning." "Maya." "Good morning," Maya replied carefully. At first, her voice shook slightly, but then she remembered Mr. Daniel's advice. "Do not fear mistakes. Keep speaking, slowly." Maya relaxed. She spoke about her dreams, her family, her love of learning, and how English had changed her confidence. The interviewers listened carefully. When the interview ended, Maya felt proud. No matter the result, she had done her best. Chapter 5. The big news 2 weeks later. Maya received a phone call while helping her mother at home. Her hands shook nervously as she answered. "Hello?" "Congratulations," the voice said warmly. "You have been selected for the scholarship program." Maya froze in shock. "Really?" "Yes, your English communication skills impressed us greatly." Maya almost cried with happiness. Her mother hugged her tightly. Her younger brother jumped excitedly around the room. That evening, Maya visited Mr. Daniel beside the river. "I got the scholarship," she announced proudly. The old teacher smiled warmly. "I knew you could do it." Maya looked emotional. "Thank you for believing in me." Mr. Daniel shook his head gently. "You believed in yourself. That is what truly matters." Maya sat quietly beside the river watching the sunset. Only 2 years earlier, she had almost given up on English completely. Now, new opportunities waited ahead. Because of one language, her world had suddenly become much bigger. Chapter 6. A new city several months later. Maya moved to the city for the training program. Everything felt different there. Tall buildings, crowded streets, people from many countries. At first, Maya felt overwhelmed, but English helped her adapt quickly. She could ask questions, read signs, talk with coworkers, and make new friends. One of her classmates was a young man named Ken from Japan. Another student, Maria, came from Spain. English became the common language connecting everyone. During lunch breaks, students shared stories about their cultures. Maya learned new foods, traditions, and ideas from around the world. One evening, Ken smiled at Maya during dinner. "Your English is very natural," he said. Maya laughed softly. "I used to be terrified of speaking." Ken looked surprised. "Really?" "Yes," Maya replied. "I thought I would never improve," Maria smiled warmly. "But you didn't stop." "Trying." Maya nodded thoughtfully. That was true. She had failed many times, but she kept moving forward. Chapter 7. Opening new doors over the next few years, Maya's life changed in many wonderful ways. She worked for international companies. She traveled to different cities. She attended online classes taught by teachers from other countries. She even gave presentations in English at work. Every new experience increased her confidence. One afternoon, Maya visited a beautiful cafe overlooking the ocean during a business trip. As she listened to conversations around her, she realized something amazing. She could understand people from many countries. English had connected her to the world, not perfectly, not magically, but powerfully. Later that evening, Maya received a message from Sophia, her online friend from Brazil. "We should finally meet one day," Sophia wrote. Maya smiled happily. Years earlier, English had introduced them as strangers now. They were close friends. Maya suddenly understood something important. Learning English was never only about grammar or vocabulary. It was about connection, opportunity, growth, and confidence. Chapter 8. Returning. Home 5 years after leaving her small town, Maya finally returned home for a visit. The river still flowed quietly beside the village. The market still smelled of fresh bread and vegetables. Everything looked familiar, but Maya herself had changed greatly. One afternoon, she visited her old school. Students sat nervously. Inside an English classroom, they reminded her of herself years ago. The teacher invited Maya to speak to them. Maya stood quietly at the front of the room. Then she smiled gently. "When I was your age," she began, "I was afraid of English, too. Several students looked surprised. I made mistakes," Maya continued. "Many mistakes." The students laughed softly, but learning English changed my life. She told them about her international friends, her job opportunities, her travels, and her confidence. One young girl raised her hand. Nervously, "What if we speak badly?" Maya smiled warmly. "Then speak badly until you